Welcome to the third and final tutorial for Mr. Sapia's Charity Check project. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a chart for your website that will answer a question many people have when they're considering which charity to donate to. And that question is, where does the money really go? So I'll show you how to create a spreadsheet that will contain all that information, and then how to take that spreadsheet and make it into a chart that will appear on your website, so that information is really easy to read for those that are visiting your site. So the first thing that we need to do then is to log into your school Google account, which obviously I'm already logged in. You can see my profile picture, so you can go ahead and do that now, or you'll be prompted to log in once you launch the app. So we're going to go to Sites, so that's sites.google.com. It's going to bring me to all the websites that I've created in my school account, and I'm actually just going to go to the Charity Check site, the main page. This is where your work is going to end up, because I have a sample here that is complete, so I can just show you what it's going to look like. So sample Charity Check, I'm going to click here, and then if I scroll down, this is basically what we're going to be doing in today's tutorial. I'll show you how to log this information into a Google Sheet, and then how we take that information and turn it into a chart that will appear on our website. So let's go ahead and open a new tab, and we're going to launch Google Sheets. So we can go here to the app launcher and click Sheets. Of course, you can use the little URL shortcut I told you about, which is sheets.google.com. But we'll just use the app launcher this time. So click on Sheets, and here you go. We're going to select a blank sheet, and this is really simple. So what we're going to do on the first row is we're going to label our information. So the first one is going to be called the category, we'll call it. And the next one is going to be dollars spent. And it has to be done in this order in order for the chart to work properly. So in the category, we'll just write some general things like salaries, because people do work for these nonprofits and they get paid for their work. Supplies. Now, of course, I'm just being very general here, and you're going to have a lot more specific information from the research that you do. I'm only going to create 4 categories. And then I'll say advertising. And then I'll add for the actual cause. So if they're raising money for children or cancer research or whatever it is, this is how much is actually going to that cause. Alright, and now I'm going to just make some numbers up. Yours will obviously be accurate because you're going to do the research. I'm just making things up right now. So we're going to say 100,000. Here, and actually what we're going to do is format this to be a number. So we're going to format number, and we'll make it a currency, so just click there, and so then it'll have the 2 decimal places. So on supplies, we'll just say $50,000. Again, I'm just completely making this up. Advertising, we'll call this $75,000. Oops, that's not the right number of zeros. Okay, and then for the actual cause, we will just assume that most of the money is going to this actual cause. So we'll be generous and say $250,000. Alright, so let's title our spreadsheet here. We'll call it Charity Check. And we are almost done here. Next thing we've got to do is go over here to this share button in the top right, and you can see that when I hover over it, it says private only to me. So with this privacy set this way, I will not be able to include this information on my website because it's private. I've got to be able to make it public in order to allow people to view it. So I click the share button, then I select advanced, and here where it says private only you can access, you want to change that. So click change, make it public, click save. So this is saying that anyone can view this. That's what we want. Click save, click done, and now you're ready to go ahead and add this to your website. So the way we do that is by going over to the website. So this is the class main page, And I'm going to go right back to my list of sites, which I have open in another tab. But if you happen to have closed that tab, again, just sites.google.com will bring you to it. So the sample charity check is the one that I've been using as the demo model. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And now I want to add the chart. So I'm going to select my pencil here, which is going to allow me to edit, and now I'm in edit mode. So I would like to put this chart underneath my Google presentation. So I'm just going to hit enter as many times as it takes until I get a space underneath my presentation. And now I'm going to go insert. So I go to the insert menu and then I select chart. And it usually pops up with the very last thing I worked on, which happens to be this spreadsheet called Charity Check. Perfect. So click here and then click select, and then just see how it just automatically pops up with some options. So I want to use the pie chart, and this is my information. So you can see these are the categories that I created, and it just broke down into the percentage of how the money is actually spent. Alright, so I'm going to click OK. And now here I have some more options. I can include a border around my chart, and I can include a title for the chart. So here we can just say breakdown of money spent. Or anything you think makes sense for your project. And we'll just leave the pixels in their default, but you can always see what it looks like. If you feel like it's too big, then you can just play with these numbers a little bit and just change it. So we're just going to leave it as is and click save. And now if I want to see what it's going to look like on my website, I've got to click save again, because we're in edit mode now, so we would be in preview mode. So I selected save, and now here it is. Okay, so I definitely want it to match up with this, the size of this. I think it'll just look better. So the way that I do that is I need to go back into edit mode, and I'm going to check the width of this box here. So the way that I do that is I select the box, then I go over here to the gear. So make sure you click on the box. That's how this gear will appear. If I'm not clicked on the box, then I won't see any of my options. So click on the box, select the gear, and then I'm just going to check to see the width of this image, which is telling me it's 410 pixels. So now I got that information. I'm going to go cancel. I'm going to click this box, click the gear here, and change the width. And I'll just say, I think it was 410. So now I'm going to save that, and look, they are the same width. And that's what I really want. So now I'm going to click save, and I'll see if it looks the way that I want it to. And it does. So I'm happy now. And I want to add a description next to my chart just the way I added a description next to my presentation. So back up to the pencil we go. Scroll down, and now I'm going to select the box, and you can see here that wrap is off. I'm going to turn wrap on. Let's turn the wrap on, and then we can start typing. Let's see, put our cursor here. And we'll say, this chart, if I can spell, represents and whatever other information that we want to include will just go along here. And that basically covers it. So then we'll have our chart. We can just enter this along here so that it'll be aligned with the chart. So I think you'd want to include a little paragraph here, but then you'll have your presentation with a little explanation, you have your chart with a little explanation, and I think that you are done with the content of your site. The next and final piece of this will be to add some contact information from your charity. So we're going to be doing that in the right sidebar. The way that we do that is go over to the insert menu. So we are going to insert a text box. So insert, and then over to the second column, text box. So we select that, and then we're going to be filling the information in right there. So we'll give our text box a title. We'll just call it contact information. And then here we'll just list some things that are important to know if you want to contact this organization. So we'll have their phone number maybe. They usually list an email address, website, lots of social media these days, and if they have a physical address. So you can list all this information here in your contact information box. Click Save. And then we're still in edit mode, so we don't get to see exactly what it looks like, but we'll hit Save here so we can preview it. And there it is. We've got our presentation, chart, contact info. I'm actually going to go back up to the pencil for one last thing. So click on my pencil, come down here, and then here in my footer section, I can just add some closing remarks. So that would be a nice little touch for you to add some closing remarks about this project and the charity you investigated. And that wraps it up.